Hi students, I am Father Johnson of New Catholic Mission School, Jhabua. Today we are going to learn a poem from Flamingo of English Corps of Class 12. The name of the poem is My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das. Now before you go to the poem, let us try to see something about the poetess. Kamala Das, who lived between the year 1934 to 2009, was a very renowned and popular poetess. She was known by the name Madhavi Kuti. She is basically from Kerala, and she has dealt numerous amount of topics in her writings. Chiefly, she also extensively discusses about women's issues, child care, politics, and other things. But her open and honest treatment of female sexuality, free from any sense of guilt, infused her writing with power, and she got hope after freedom, but also marked her as an iconoclast in her generation. On 31st May 2009, at the age of 75, she died. Now, let us try to see the synopsis, the gist of the poem, what she is trying to discuss in this poem called My Mother at 66. She is trying to discuss about the aging mother of her own. She being a very renowned person, she often leaves her house, leaves her home, and she goes to different countries, and whenever she moves out, she is always worried whether she will be able to meet her mother back, because she is getting old and aged. And on one of her trips, as she was on a trip to a foreign country, her mother accompanies her to the airport. As she was accompanying her, she was feeling that her mother is no more as energetic and enthusiastic as earlier, and that's the reason she feels she is not going to see her mother anymore. But all the same, she is trying to discuss in this poem how she is going to miss her, and that is the whole theme of this poem. And let us see. And though this poem is very simple in language, but then it has got lot of imageries. It is rich with so many images, and we need to see that. First, let us see the poem. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, dozed, open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport's security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. Now let us try to see the content of the poem. Now, as I said, the poetess Kamala Das, she is traveling from her home to the airport, and her mother, who is aging, she is accompanying her to the airport. So she driving from her mother's home to Cochin. She is moving to Cochin, that is in Kerala, to the airport, from where she was supposed to take a flight to probably to some one of the countries. And as she was being accompanied, she saw her mother sitting beside her in the vehicle. As she was sitting, her mother's mouth was opened, and she was dozing. Probably she was falling asleep, and her face was ashen like that of a corpse. Now, her face was no more fresh. It was very, very pale. It was just pale as like that of an ash. Now you see here the device, ashen like that of a corpse. I have deliberately marked this word in red color, ashen like that of a corpse. What is it? It's a simile. What is simile? Simile is a direct comparison. Now the poet is comparing her mother's look to that of a ash. And what is meaning corpse? Dead body. Now her mother was exactly looking like a dead body. She was looking very pale. She was no more looking very fresh. And realized with the pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away. She realized that her mother is getting aged. She is growing in age and she is very pale, no more with full of life. And as a reason, she felt that she is as old as she was. Again, there is another simile, as old as, direct comparison. And there is a contrast between this line and the following line. Now, in this line, the author has tried to discuss, the poet has tried to discuss that she was getting aged, she is no more with full of life, she is no more looking fresh, she is looking very pale, like that of a corpse. And the following line, as she realized that her mother is getting old, she didn't want to entertain this thought. She put that thought away and she looked outside and she saw the young trees sprinting. As we move in the vehicle, I'm sure you must have realized that the trees, which are all the images outside the vehicle, we feel that they are moving. And that's what the author has tried to discuss, that the young trees were sprinting. Sprinting means moving very fast. Now, on the one hand, her mother is aged, lifeless. On the other hand, these young trees sprinting, that is full of life. So there is an image of contrast. There is an image of lifelessness. On the other hand, there is an image of imagery of life. Now again, I have deliberately marked this words, young trees sprinting. Now trees don't move, but then the author has deliberately used this word, young trees sprinting. Why? Because it's another poetic device, that is, it's a personification. Young trees sprinting, it's a personification. Why we call this as a personification? Because personification means treating an inanimate thing as something which is as a person. Treating an object like a person. That's what called as a personification. Now here, the young trees are sprinting. The young trees which are full of, there is a movement, but there here, her mother is with no life. There is no movement here. But on the other hand, the trees are full of life. There is so much of movement. The merry children spilling out of their homes. The trees are moving fast. The children have come out and there is so much of movement. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale as a late winter's moon. So as they reached the airport, she realized that as she checked in, she was about to say goodbye to her mother. And she's there. After the security check-in, she stood a few yards away and looked at her mother. Again, she looked at her mother before she departed. And she felt that she felt her mother was like that of a pale, she looked very pale as a late winter's moon. Now, again there is a simile. Pale, she was looking very, very pale, lifeless, and she was looking like that of a late winter's moon. What does mean late winter's moon? Late winter's moon, a moon which is not very clear. She was looking as pale as a late winter's moon. Again, it's a simile. And felt that old family ache. Whenever she departed, whenever she said goodbye to her mother, she always felt that little fear in her. that she was not sure whether she is going to meet her mother again. And this fear has been from her childhood, probably from childhood. She was always away from her mother, and this fear something is very, very familiar to her. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma," and I did was smile and smile and smile. So before she left, before she departed, she knew that she was not sure whether she is going to see her mother again, probably. And this familiar pain, that pain that she lived with for all her life, all throughout her life, is something very, very familiar to her. And before she said, all that she did was she smiled at her mother, nothing else. Now look again, the author has used the word smile, smile, smile. What is this? It's called anaphora. Anaphora is a repetition of the same word in order to give richness to a particular concept or particular image. Now this is the whole theme about. Now once again, to narrate the gist of the poem, it is very simple but very rich in meaning. The gist of the poem is that the author, who is being accompanied by her mother to the airport, and after having reached the airport, she left the airport, and before she left, she said goodbye to her mother. And she has always lived with this feeling of probably going to lose her mother, and that's the reason she has lived with this fear. And you see there, at the end, she has used this word, smile and smile and smile. Now I want to discuss the poetic devices. Though this poem is very, very simple, but then the poem is full of poetic devices, rich in meaning. One is, first, as we discussed earlier, one of the poetic devices that we have seen in this, simile. Now what is a simile? Simile is a direct comparison. You compare one thing with another. Now you see there, ashen like that of a corpse. Her mother was looking the color of her mother was like an ash, and she was looking exactly like a corpse. So her mother is being compared to the dead body. Second, as old as, again a comparison. Third, as a late winter's moon. It's again comparison. She is being compared to the late winter's moon. Second is personification. Sprinting trees. Trees do not move. Who moves? And the trees have been personified. They have been treated like a person. So personification means treating an object or a non-human being to a human being. So that is what it's called. So the trees have been personified to a person, and that's why it's a personification. Third, anaphora. Smile and smile and smile. This is called an anaphora. Why? Because anaphora means comparison. Repetition of the same word in order to improve in order to give more richness. Fourth, there is an imagery of contrast. Trees sprinting, merry children spilling out of their homes, which is contradictory to the lifeless status of her mother. Her mother, who is almost dying, probably, almost in her late, she is very, very old and full, and there is no much life left in her. But on the contrast, the trees are sprinting, the merry children, the children are moving out. Children with full of life, trees which are moving, they are full of life. So there is an image of contrast that we see in this poem. So, dear children, hope you have understood. If any feedback you want, you can contact. Thank you so much.